She's lying in bed right now, phone face down, staring at the ceiling, and she's thinking about someone. The question is, why isn't it you? Here's something nobody in the dating space will admit out loud. The man she can't stop thinking about isn't the most handsome guy. He's not the richest. He's not even the most charming. He's the one who did something so psychologically counterintuitive that her brain literally cannot let him go. And by the time this video ends, you'll know exactly what that thing is, and more importantly, how to become that man starting today. But first, I need to show you what's actually destroying your chances right now, because I promise you, you're doing it without even realizing it. Picture this. You meet someone incredible. The energy between you two is electric. You walk away from that first conversation feeling like something real just started. So you do what any reasonable, genuine guy does. You text her that same night. You check in the next morning. You're consistent, attentive, and available. You think you're being a man of substance. But then something quietly shifts. Her replies slow down. The excitement in her words fades. And somehow the more effort you pour in, the colder things feel. You're confused because you're doing everything right. Or so you thought. Here's the uncomfortable truth that Kinta Kim advice is built on exposing. You didn't lose her because you weren't enough. You lost her because you gave her too much, too soon, with no reason to wonder about you. Let me explain this with something you'll instantly understand. Think about your favorite meal, the one you drive across town for. Now imagine someone delivers it to your door every single morning without you asking. Day 1, amazing. Day 3, nice. Day 10, you don't even open the box anymore. The moment something becomes guaranteed, the brain stops valuing it. That's not coldness. That's just how human psychology is wired, and women are not immune to it. Nobody is. This is what you're accidentally doing with your attention. You're making yourself the guaranteed delivery. Predictable. Always there. No mystery, no edge, no reason for her brain to wonder, wait, where did he go? And curiosity, genuine psychological curiosity, is the engine behind every emotion she'll ever feel toward you. Now, before you think I'm about to tell you to ghost her or play childish games, stop. What I'm about to share is not that. It's something far more layered, something rooted in how the female brain actually processes attraction. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So let's get into the real psychology. The tension principle. Why her brain needs unfinished business. Here's something neuroscience actually confirms. The human brain is obsessively drawn to incomplete things. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect. The mind holds on to unresolved experiences far longer than completed ones. That homework assignment you kept putting off, you thought about it constantly. The conversation that ended on a weird note, you replayed it for days. Now apply that to attraction. When you're completely open, completely readable, completely available, you become a completed experience in her mind. Her brain files you away and moves on. But when there's something unresolved about you, something she can't quite figure out, you become an open loop. And her mind will keep returning to open loops automatically, almost against her own will. This is why the mysterious guy wins. Not because mystery is a trick, but because an open loop in someone's mind is neurologically impossible to ignore. So how do you become that open loop without becoming cold or distant? Here's the answer. And this is where Kinta Kim advice separates from everything else you've watched. Presence over persistence. Stop measuring your value by how often you reach out. Start measuring it by the quality of what you bring when you do. One conversation that leaves her slightly off balance, slightly curious, slightly wanting more, is worth 10 check-in texts that say absolutely nothing emotionally. When you text, don't just say you're thinking about her. Say something that makes her think. Ask a question she's never been asked before. Reference something from a previous conversation that shows you actually listen. Then, at the peak of the exchange, when the energy is highest, simply stop. Step away while the moment is still alive. This is critical. Most men wait until conversations flatline before they leave. By then, the damage is done. You want to exit when things are good. Leave her sitting there with a slight smile thinking, wait, that's it? That feeling right there? That's the seed. The depth advantage. Here's another layer most men completely skip. Women do not lose sleep over men who are nice to them. They lose sleep over men who make them feel deeply seen. There is a massive difference between being attentive and being perceptive. Attentive is, how was your day? Perceptive is, you seem like someone who carries things quietly and never asks for help. One is small talk, the other is a mirror. And when someone feels truly seen, they become emotionally anchored to that person in a way they often can't explain. So go deeper. Ask real questions. Notice real things. Say the thing out loud that other people observe but never say. That level of emotional precision makes you unforgettable in a way that no amount of texting ever can. And yes, combined with strategic distance, this becomes something almost unfair. Disagree with her. Seriously. Now here's the part that sounds like relationship sabotage. But stay with me. The man who agrees with everything she says is the man she respects least. Not because she's difficult, but because deep down, everyone wants a partner, not a reflection. When you thoughtfully push back on her opinion, when you say, I actually see that completely differently, and here's why, something shifts. She leans in. Her brain registers. This man has his own world, his own perspective. He doesn't need my approval, and that independence is magnetic. The key word is thoughtfully. You're not arguing. You're not dismissing. You're engaging her like an intellectual equal, which is ironically one of the most respectful and attractive things you can do. Plant seeds in her future. Here's a subtle psychological move that works quietly in the background long after the conversation ends. Casually reference future experiences involving her without making concrete plans. Mention a specific place and say she'd love it. Bring up an event happening months away like it's obvious she'd be there. Reference lending her something, a book, a playlist, a film recommendation, without immediately following through. What you're doing is placing yourself inside her imagination. And her imagination is where real emotional investment begins. She'll find herself randomly thinking, he mentioned that trail we were supposed to hike. Is that still happening? And just like that, you've moved into her mental real estate completely uninvited. That's not manipulation. That's creating emotional narrative. There's a difference. The return, timing. Everything now. Here's where most men ruin months of progress in a single move. They get impatient. They disappear for 4 days, feel proud of themselves, then come rushing back the moment she doesn't respond quickly enough. Real strategic space takes real time. We're talking weeks, not days. During that window, your only job is to genuinely build something. Work on your body, learn something new, expand your social world. Create moments worth sharing, not for her to see, but for you to actually live. Here's the psychological power behind this. When you re-enter her world after genuine growth, and she can feel the difference, her brain asks a dangerous question. Did I underestimate him? That question is the beginning of something she cannot control. But if she showed zero curiosity during your absence, you have your answer. And you saved yourself tremendous time. The bigger frame. This isn't about strategies to trap someone's feelings. It's about understanding that attraction operates on psychological frequency, not logical reasoning. And once you understand that frequency, you stop chasing, you stop performing, you start embodying. The man who is genuinely building something bigger than any single relationship. The man who is curious, present, layered, and unbothered, the man who can challenge you, disappear without explanation, and return better than before. That man doesn't need tricks. He naturally becomes the person people can't stop thinking about. Use everything in this video to become a better version of yourself first. Let attraction be a byproduct of that, not the goal. If this hit different, drop the word frequency in the comments. It tells me you're ready to understand this at a deeper level. Subscribe to Kinta Kim Advice and hit that bell, because what's coming next goes even deeper into the psychology of female attraction. And trust me, you're not ready for it yet.